Alrighty, little ones. Welcome back to the HTML4 review lessons for advanced computers. We're going to take a big chunk out of anchors today. And this might be a bit confusing, but I want you to stay with me. I think most assuredly you'll get the hang of it after a while. Before we get started, I just wanted to review a couple things. You know, I've made mention of Notepad. This is the software that we're going to be using here to write our code. But some of you may not know how to access Notepad in Windows. So I'm using Windows 7 right now. But most of you, except for those of you who have Windows 8, will be able to find Notepad in the following manner. You click on either the Start button or whatever you want to call this, the Windows logo. And you're going to get a little window down here. I don't know if you can see it. It's where it says search. Just type Notepad very simply and hit enter, and it'll open up a brand new fresh window of Notepad. So that's one way. The other way is if you click on Start, go to All Programs, and then Accessories, you'll see Notepad in the list of accessories here. So those are two ways to find Notepad. It comes with every version of Windows that I've ever used, and that's starting with Windows 3.1, back when your parents were listening to 90s music. Okay, so here we go. We're going to learn anchors, which are a type of link. Before we actually do start coding, I want to show you what these things do. So here's the page that we're going to make. It's got a nice little picture of Bullwinkle J. Moose. And it has three other pictures, which are down the page quite a distance. Now, if you can imagine, if you had a page that's very long, that has a lot of content in it, such as some Wikipedia pages and other resources, it might be hard to navigate or get to the spot that you want to get to quickly. So what people use are called anchors, which give you a link to a location within a page. So for instance, here I have, click here to see a picture of a moose. If I click on that, here's a picture of the moose. Then here to see a picture of Sylvester Stallone. If I click on that link, it goes straight to Sylvester. And then here to see Tweety. And then here to see the band Wilco. So that's a useful tool, especially if you have a lot of content on one page. So if you notice also, I have a link at the end of each picture that says go to the top. So instead of me having to scroll back up, I can go down to the picture of Tweety Bird and then go to the top here. Has a link that brings me right back to the top. So basically, if you think of anchors as links within a page to navigate inside a page, you're good to go. The coding is slightly different, and we have to add a little bit of code. It's the actual anchor itself, which I'll show you. It's pretty simple. Okay, so here we go. First things first. Okay. We start with our doc type, an HTML. Then we've got the head, and then we've got the title. And we're going to call this anchors away. It's not spelled right, not like the song. We're being cutesy here. Then and the head, and then start the body. Well, you know, I left a tag out, didn't I? See, I'm testing you constantly. I left what? That's right, kids. HTML. Whoop, go back. Okay, let's keep going. So, I'm just going to write a simple paragraph here. In fact, let's do heading 3. Click on the link to see the picture on the page. I think I wrote something a little more complicated in the original version, but that should work. Okay, so now it's time to actually write part of the code, the actual thing that will go to jump down to the different parts of the page. So I'm going to start a paragraph, and we're going to write click. Then we're going to write a link, A, H-R-E-F. Now, instead of putting the address of a page, we're going to do this. Equals, then number sign, and then the name of the link. Now, this will be Bullwinkle. And then end the quotes. A href equals number sign Bullwinkle, and then we go here, then end the tag, and then to see a picture of Bullwinkle. All right, end the period. Now, I'm not going to start a new paragraph. I'm just going to put a BR tag in there, so it goes to the next line. Now, it's basically the same structure for the next 3 pictures. So, in an effort to save time, I'm just going to highlight that sentence and paste it. Hit enter, paste it, hit enter, and paste it. And now I'm just going to change the words. So the next picture is of Sylvester Stallone. So I believe we're going to call this Stallone. Click ahref equals number sign Stallone here to see a picture of, not Bullwinkle now, but what's that character's name that we all know and love? That's right, Rocky. Okay, do you see the connection there? Rocky and Bullwinkle, those of you who know 60s cartoons. Now we're going to go from there. The next picture is Tweety Bird. So, and it's all lowercase, sorry, T-W-E-E-T-Y. Click here to see a picture of, and then we'll type Tweety Bird. T-Y-B-I-R-D. And then we have, click here, and this one will be for the band Wilco. To see a picture of, and then we change that to Wilco. Alrighty. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so it stretches out a little bit more. So we have 4 lines. Click here to see a picture of Bullwinkle. Click here to see a picture of Rocky. Click here to see a picture of Tweety Bird. And then click here to see a picture of Wilco. Now, we're not going to see those pictures. What we've done is we said we're going to go to the part of the page where there's going to be what's called an anchor by that name, by this name, by this name, and by this name. So, let's do that now. First things first, I'm going to put an HR. Do you remember what that is? That's a horizontal rule that just puts a line across the page. So, just a way of organizing the content on the page. And I'm going to write this, A. Okay, now we write ID equals, and then in quotes, the same exact word that we had after the number sign in the link. So I'm actually going to copy that and put it here. AID equals Bullwinkle. That's all you have to do. Now, when we actually load up this page later on, when we click on the link, which will be this word, the word here, it will take us to exactly where this line is in our document. That's all it is. So instead, as I said, instead of linking to another page, we're just linking to another part in the page. Alrighty, so now we're just going to put the picture in. So what we do is we type, first of all, we're going to identify him. So I'm going to write H3, and we're going to call him Bullwinkle J Moose. I don't know what the J stands for. Does anybody know? Camus, do you know? Okay, so let's keep going. And then we're going to put in the code for the actual picture. So IMG SRC equals, and then Bullwinkle.jpg. Now I've resized these so we don't have to go and put the height and width in. So I thought I'd save us some time. And then, again, to separate, we're going to put in another HR. And we're going to start another line. So now we're going to put in a new anchor, and I'm just going to use this code again and just repeat it. So here we go. AID equals, now this time, what word did we use? Because it's a picture of Rocky. It's Stallone. So we don't have to highlight the number symbol. We just have to highlight the word. And then we put it AID equals Stallone. And then the label will be, I'm going to confuse you, Rocky. And then the image source is in Bullwinkle, but it is actually Stallone.jpg, Stallone. I should actually keep this the same so that we don't get confused. So we're going to call it Sylvester. Sylvester, Stalo. Oh. All right. And then what do we do next? We're done with putting the image in, so we're going to put an HR in again. And then we're going to take this code here. Copy. Remember, copy and paste wherever you can. Writing code takes long enough. We don't need to take forever just because, you know, we're purists, so to speak. So now this is Tweety. So we put in Tweety as the anchor. And then we're going to label it Tweety Bird. Now, please don't get confused. What goes inside these H3 tags could be anything. I could write, you know, Chipotle. I could write, you know, the New York Mets will do well this year. This is just, you know, words. This is functional, where it says AID equals, and then the name of this. This has to be identical to what we have here. Otherwise, the anchor won't work. But then what we put in the H3 tag is just a label. Of course, we want to, you know, be accurate, so, or at least, you know, represent what's on the page. So we write Tweety Bird. Not the Mets will do this well this year, even though they might. Who knows? And then we put another HR in. I don't know why I didn't copy that. And then we have one last. In fact, I think it should still be in the... Nope, it's not. Go back. And then one last picture to put in. So we're going to copy this format, paste it in. AID, and what's the last one? Wilco. I don't know if you guys know that band. They're pretty cool. It doesn't look like they shave often. I don't know if that matters to you. Okay. So here we go. Wilco and H3. Wilco. And then the name of the picture we also have to get right. Oh, I have to fix this picture too. You were going to tell me that, weren't you? I know Tyler was going to notice that. So Tweety, W-E-T-Y. And then this one would be what? Wilco. All right. I think we're kind of done. And then in an homage to Tweety Bird, I wrote H1. That's all, folks. Because that's the sign off for the Looney Tunes. Then end H1. I'm so old. And then end the body. And then end the HTML. Did we put a body tag at the beginning? Let's look. Yes, I did. Okay, good. Now let's save this. Now I'm going to give it a slightly different name only because I already have one that's I've baked this afternoon. So we'll call this anchors, just simple. CHORS.htm. And then save it, and let's load it up. See what we got. So open up my HTML folder and find anchors and load it up. Let's see if it works. Click here to see a picture of Bullwinkle. Yay! Go back. Let's see Rocky. Oh, the picture didn't work. I didn't name it right. Got to check that. Tweety Bird and then Wilco. All right, so all that works. I did not put in the code for going back to the top yet. I hope you noticed that. We're going to get to that. So, but let's troubleshoot here. The picture for Sylvester did not work. So let me look at my folder. What did I call that picture? Bullwinkle flying. Well, pizza. Rocky. I called it Rocky, not Sylvester. You know something? I want to be, or Stallone. I'm going to be consistent here. Change the name of the picture. You could do one or the other. You could either change the code or you could change the name of the picture. Now, theoretically, it should work. Let's refresh. There he is. I could have been a contender. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do one last final touch. We're going to put the code in for the top to go back to the top of the page. Where are you? All right. So this is where we put the code in. Right at the beginning of the document. H-R-E-F, not Archery, A-I-D equals, and then in quotes, top. That's it. You're the top, you're the tip. Okay, here we go. So there we go. This is where when we put the link in, it's going to go, right? Actually, this will be at the top of the page, this line here. And so at the end of each picture, see the picture's right here. I'm going to put a BR in, and then we go click, or let's just type go to the top. Go to the top, and then we'll make the word top the link. So I'll put in the code for the link to the anchor. href equals, and what do we do? Quotes, then what? Number sign, and then top, and then end the quote, end that part of the tag. This will become the hotspot. This will be blue when you see it loaded up on the page, and it will turn purple once you click on it, and then we end the tag. So now this will actually take us to the top. And let's look at it. Save this bad boy. Go to the page, refresh. See, it says go to the top here. Click on that, and it takes us to the top. That's a beautiful thing. All right, let's load up anchors again. And let's just take that code now, because it's going to be the same at the end of each picture. So if you recall, we put a BR in, and then that code. So I'm going to copy, and very simply at the end of the picture, put in this code. At the end of the picture, here's the image source, right? Hit enter, put in the code. And then at the end of the Wilco picture, all right, let's save it again. And let's see if it works. Refresh the page. All right, so let's go all the way to the bottom. Wilco. Go to the top. Whee! Rocky. Go. Watch me pull a rabbit out of a hat. Presto. Okay, fan mail from some flounder. Okay, that's it. That is our little tutorial on anchors. It's links within pages. That's really all it is. And to review or refresh, the thing that makes it different from regular links that we learned before is that to go to an anchor point within a page, the link has this as the address instead of http:// blah, blah, blah. You just have this. And then to set the anchor point, you just do AID equals and then some name that you use. And this name, in quotes, has to be identical to what's after the number sign in the link. All right, that's about it. Oh, one other thing. For those of you on a Macintosh, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. I showed you guys how to get Notepad for Windows. If you are interested in using Komodo on a Macintosh, you can get it for free. Some kids were asking about that. And I will put a link on my assignment page to the download for Komodo. I've checked it. I've downloaded it actually for Windows, and it works quite well. So it's safe, blah, blah, blah. But just so you know, you can use that just like we do in class for the Macintosh. Okay, that's it, guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.